What's poppin', y'all? We are back with another episode of Spill It With Meesh. I am your host, MeeshWestCo, and thank you guys so much for being here today. If you guys are new, we call this the Unhinged Safe Space. We've been being a little safe lately, though. We've been talking about our cleanses. We've been talking about getting ourselves right before the year is over, and I feel like it's important to touch on those matters. But before we go into that, we are going to just channel the minds of wanting these detox, the realization that these things are even needed, okay? We're going to make us a cute little drink that corresponds. It goes with the mind. We are going to be diving into lavender, y'all. I'm going to start telling y'all about how I be using these herbs to manage my mood, okay? I'm going to include a couple gems from a book that I'm reading right now. If you're not familiar with it, then after this podcast, you are going to want to pick that book up, okay? We are talking about Napoleon Hill's Think and Grow Rich, okay? But don't lose my attention now, okay? Stay with me. So we're going to be serving up another drink, like I said, and we're going to be touching on lavender. Lavender is going to be a key essential of this podcast, okay? So we're going to be making a lavender tea lemonade. This is my lavender tea. You guys, I don't know where you're going to go find a lavender tea like bottled, but steep it yourself. Do not buy a bottle of tea. Steep it yourself. It does not take that long. 3 to 5 minutes. Steep it yourself. So I got my ice, my lavender tea. You can use honey or agave. I have honey today. Just make sure your honey only has one ingredient. You should only have honey in your honey. It should not be a long list of things in your honey, okay? If not, use agave. If it's long, get the agave. So here goes my lavender tea. And again, we are using the lavender, so I have a little something else I'm going to add to it. So, y'all, I steeped this and put it in here while it was hot. So here's my lavender tea. I like a lot of tea. And then I have lavender flower in a capsule. So I'm going to pop open my lavender flower, okay? And I am going to sprinkle it into my drink. Okay. I'm going to add my honey. That was a lot. And then I have a little cinnamon. If you guys tuned into my last episode, I referenced cinnamon and how much I like it because of its anti-inflammatory properties. Paired with the lavender, you're going to get a real stabilizing mood, okay? So I'm just going to use a little bit of the ground ginger. I've got a lemon slice for garnish. And I've got a little cinnamon stick for garnish as well. So you do want to stir this just because you put in that capsule and that lavender. You put the capsule and the cinnamon and all that honey. It will stick all together. So you want to just mix it up. Especially if you're doing it iced. Don't be alarmed. It's okay. So the cinnamon does not dissolve. It's a little bit more denser, so it's okay. If you hate cinnamon, then don't do it, but I love it. So we got a good lavender tea lemonade. Oh, I didn't add the lemonade. So, and I got Simply Lemonade. Get the lemonade you like. This is my favorite. And I like it with pulp. It just means to me that they squeezed it fresh. Don't at me. I know it's a lot of sugar in this. I don't care. So, top it off with your lemonade. Don't forget, like me, because you're going to take... I like tea, but y'all going to be like, why would she recommend this drink and it was nasty? Don't forget the lemonade. Fire. I don't know which restaurant I got this idea from. It might have been Chipotle. One of them restaurants that got the cute lemonades and stuff in their store, whatever. But they put me on. So, that's the drink, our lavender tea lemonade. And we're going to dive into this. We're going to dive into the podcast. We're going to dive into the realization. We are going to dive into stabilizing our moods, our minds, and just getting in tune with things when we feel out of place. Not necessarily looking for vices, but really tapping into oneself. So, like I said, the big question is identifying what's not serving you. Like, sometimes people go through things where it's like, you've had a bad day for over a week. Why are you having a bad day for over a week? A bad day is just supposed to be a bad day. And even a bad day, like, has the ability to be turned around, but it's all about the mind. It's identifying you want this change. So, whether it's your career, whether it's your relationship, whether it's, like I said, just you not feeling how you've been feeling lately. Like, I wanted to go through the purge, like I mentioned in the last episode. I wanted to go through that because I was just feeling so, like, I was so irritated with myself. And no matter what I did, no matter what I tried to do to stabilize that mood, I just could not get over it. So I was like, okay, I have to come to I need to start asking some questions. What am I looking for? Why do I feel like this? What's going to make me come out of this? And I couldn't answer any of those. So I felt it was very necessary to take the time to cleanse. So I got an exercise of how you guys can kind of tap into figuring that out for yourself. So for one, again, if you guys don't know, I love my notes section of my phone. We all love our phones. We all love our handheld devices. Use your notes section of your phone. Highlight what brings you joy. Write down 1, 2, and 3. And on the first one, write down what brings you joy. Even if you have just 3 words, if you have 3 sentences, don't always make it about the next person. What genuinely brings you happiness? Not caring for the next person. What genuinely makes you happy? Like for me, I love outside. Now my lupus don't like outside, but I love outside. Being outside makes me feel, it just makes me feel clean. It just makes me feel like I can release. It doesn't make me feel stressed out. It literally makes me want to put my phone down. It makes me want to just enjoy what's in front of me. So that's one thing that brings me joy. So number 2, identify what's dead weight in your life. Rather it's your career, rather it's your partner, rather it's your friends. Figure out what it is that's dead weight that holds you to feeling stressed or to feeling weighed down. Identify that and get rid of that. And then 3, reflect on these stressors when they first appeared, or why did they appear? Like jobs. Did you have to go get another job, or did you have to get this job because it just paid better and essentially you needed to make more money? Sometimes you have to start asking yourself those type of questions. Even with your partner, what was the reason that this partner became stressful to you? Because at one point he wasn't stressful, or they weren't stressful, or maybe they were stressful initially and you ignored all those signs. So maybe now it's a you thing where you have to reflect. But you reflecting is going to be the only way you're able to figure these things out. So now you have to ask yourself, are you willing to do the work to get rid of some of these things and to get back to what brings you happiness and to what makes you feel whole again? And if you are, then first start by identifying, and then next approach those. What do you have to do to approach those, or what do you have to do to reach those goals? And then tread and do them. If you fall off, that's okay. Get back on it. Don't stray away too far. You miss a day, get back on it. It's okay. So you can't move forward until you let go of the things that hold you back, or like I said, be accountable and just identify what it is that makes you feel this way, that needs to be purged or to be cleansed. And then prioritize it. Like I said, just because you you fall off. Get back on it. Like, people, we about to come into the new year. You finna hear everybody talking about it. New year, new me. Everybody finna act like they about to be in the gym. Everybody about to act like they finna be eating healthy, and they finna remove smoking. They're finna remove drinking. They're lying. They're lying. Because for one, it's not a real choice. They're waiting to the beginning of the year to start. Why does it have to start at the beginning of the year? If it's a you thing, it's just a you thing. It doesn't matter when you start it. Just start it. People are going to be like, oh, I'm going to start my business at the beginning. No, you're not. No, you're not. Be real with yourself. You might start it, but are you going to finish it? All them people going to be at, the gyms are going to be full. EOS, this is how they're making their money. They're calling right now. You guys ready to renew your membership? Are you guys are we moving in annually? They're ready right now. Their sales reps are ready. Are y'all falling into the traps? No, start now. Start now. If you want to go to the gym, start now. If you want to eat healthy, start now. Don't wait till the beginning of the year. Discipline is going to be the key, though, to any transformation, and it starts small. For me, like I said, eliminating just the distractions was a game changer. Putting my phone down, telling myself to put my phone down, telling myself that just because I have this podcast, I don't have to have that device in my hand 24/7. Sometimes that can create a block for me. Like, sometimes I will only see what's going on social media, so I'm not able to think outside of that. That's going to hinder my podcast if all you guys get is the same content. It's not going to work. So I made the decision to cut out foods, substances, and even social media. Why? Because I wanted to challenge and channel my full creative abilities. So we're all addicted to something: food, scrolling, other people's business. And it's about recognizing those habits, but deciding to replace them with something that's now serving you. I'm picking up books. Yeah, I still got my phone, but I'm putting it down now because I'm listening to podcasts. I'm listening to audiobooks. I'm not just social media. I can't be. Obviously, I got to because of the podcast, but it's a limit to it now. Now I'm prioritizing content and I'm prioritizing things, so now I don't have to do it every day. Again, discipline. So just making those small changes and intentional choices every day just add up to the bigger changes, which essentially is going to help me mentally just to have that discipline. And trust me, I got a story for y'all that proves just how transformative discipline can be. So we're going to go into my little story time. So this one time at band camp, no, I'm just kidding. So I got a little personal story. If you guys are like new to following me, if you've never been to high school with me, if you just never knew me before this, I used to be like, I've always been a thick woman. Like, even as a child, I was thick. But like I referenced in my first episode, I was diagnosed with an autoimmune disease at a very young age. So that factored in to weight loss and weight gain fast. So a couple years ago, I gained 40 pounds and tore my meniscus ligament, which is a ligament in your knee, literally a small, thin little ligament you have between your kneecap. I tore that in the midst of all of this. So I had gained the 40 pounds. I had went up 4 dress sizes in 1 month, and I tore my meniscus. So I was just like, great. I'm about to be fat. Like, I'm about to be just like, what am I going to do? And so I decided to commit to 90 days to just changing that. So obviously I had to wait till like the doctor put me on physical therapy. But when I started going to physical therapy, I would tell my mom, like, I don't feel like my knee's being worked out, but I feel like the rest of my body's being worked out. So I talked to my physical therapist, and she was like, do the exercises that we're doing here at home. So I started doing the exercises at home, and I was starting to see a difference like in my hips. Like my dress sizes were going down. Like, I didn't have to go up in pants. So I was like, okay, that's working. So as soon as they cleared me to like start walking and like on my own without like braces or like even a splint, I started going to, I lived near a park that had like a track on it. So twice a day, I would go to this track. I would walk there. So it's like a mile, so 2 miles, so there and back. And then I would hit the track 6 laps twice a day. And when I say I was disciplined, I was disciplined. At the time, I was 17 years old, fresh out of high school. And I decided I'm not getting no bigger than this. And this is what I'm going to do for 90 days. And I'm going to see a difference. So yeah, I used to make my friends used to want to like hang out. And I used to be like, y'all know I got to do my laps. They used to be like, come on, are you serious? You can't miss a day? No, I can't. I'm sure they used to be irritated with me, but it was that level of discipline that got me to actually start seeing the results and to seeing something I was a little bit more happier with. So the 90-day challenge didn't just help me physically, it reshaped my mindset. Like I said, it taught me that consistency was everything. So ask yourself, do you have 90 days to challenge yourself? Take a small step every single day to build the life that you want or to get to the goals that you necessarily want. It's only 90 days. It's only 90 days is 3 months. That's not a long time. A lot happens in 90 days. So back to me touching on that Think and Grow Rich. And the reason I want to reference that and the reason I even drew it into today's episode is because that book really helps you shape your mind. Like, it is a book that you should, even in the book, it'll tell you, it's not a book you're going to read once. It's going to be something you really start to apply to your life, to where you start carrying it as a guide, or you now start having quotes in weird places from this book. This book is very, very lucrative to mindset growth. So what he calls the creative imagination. Oops, sorry. Okay, so Napoleon Hill talks about the sixth sense in what he calls the creative imagination. That's a deep, intuitive, creative point of your mind, or that you're only allotted to when your mind is clear or when your mind is willing to go to this creative space. So the truth is, a cluttered mind can't create. When you clear your distractions, you make space for ideas and inspiration to flow. And there's a science behind this. So neuroscience shows that when you're calm and you're focused, your brain operates in a way that enhances creativity and problem solving. But let's be real. Social media is a creativity killer. No matter what y'all want to say about that, social media paints the perspective that this is the life that you should live and this is the creative you should be. That's not right. So how can we be present when we're constantly consuming? That's why we're detoxing the mind, and that's why detoxing the body is just as important. So I have 3 tools that I want to share that can help you reset your mind and just really unlock your true potential. So like morning rituals. Start your day with meditation, journaling, a silent reflection, like prayer. Just having a moment to yourself, like when you get up, not instantly springing into your morning, like getting ready for work, not instantly putting something before your own needs. Bringing that type of joy back to yourself will make you start to even figure out, what do I like in the morning? Like, do I like people to talk to me? Is that really my coaching style? Do I want phone calls before I'm out of the door before work? Do I want these types of stressors? Do I want these types of habits? Do they bring me joy? So, like I said, what brings you joy and what drains you? So applying that morning routine will help you figure out how to navigate starting your day. Eliminate distractions, like when you're working or when you're focused on something, when you need to be focused on something, having the discipline to actually remove those distractions, whether it's go put your phone in another room. I used to have a thing about bed. I used to not allow myself screen time in the bed. I would put my phone on the charger on my desk away from my bed so that when my alarm clock went off in the morning, I didn't have the ability to just snooze it. I had to go walk over to it. So that helped me. And then just removing things that no longer serve you. Like, I'm going to say that line repeatedly because one thing about me, I don't deal with anything that doesn't serve me. Relationships, jobs, people, food, it doesn't matter. If it does not work for me, I will not do it. Period. So your body, moving your body, physical movement. Okay, physical movement clears the mind and boosts your mood. So just short walks can do wonders. Like, I know everybody probably don't check their mail no more, but like, go get your mail one day. Like that, go get your mail and leave your phone. Like that is gonna you're gonna be like, wow, I never heard so many birds, or like, I've never seen that. You will never see that with distractions. You have stuff in your hand, you have vices in your hands. Just pay attention, go on a walk. Park a little farther, go take a walk into the store, like see what you can see, look around, smile at somebody different, just do different things to essentially channel things that feel better to you. Like, I know it sounds crazy. I know it sounds crazy that these small things can change mindsets and help life and help growth, but they really do. They really, really do. So just start small, stay consistent, and just watch the transformation unfold. Start one thing at a time. So before we wrap up, let's just do a little bit of a recap. So I've talked about identifying what's not serving you. Y'all see that's my line, right? Prioritizing change and unlocking your creativity through discipline. So getting to those creative points you want, but starting somewhere, starting with the you have to start telling yourself no, or you have to start telling other people no. That's discipline. Prioritizing just you. That's discipline. I know a lot of the time that's hard, especially if you have kids or you have spouses, but prioritize you and watch how your ability to just be there for them, or to essentially feel for them or care for their mood changes. Just watch. So here's my challenge for you. Next, plan your next mental detox. So share with me how you're going to start detoxing. Give yourself 30 days. 90 days can be a little strenuous, but give yourself 30 days. Start small. If you feel like those 30 days were effective for you, push to 60. If you feel like those 60 days were effective to you or they weren't, either push forward or try something else, change course. That's okay too. Just stay disciplined on your actual goals. Set your goals, but don't stray away from them. Rather, they didn't work one way. Rather, they didn't work two ways. Figure out how to make your goals work for you. And as always, keep it real, keep it raw, and most importantly, keep it real with yourself. And thank you for staying tuned. This was yet another beautiful episode of Spill It With Meesh. And again, I'm your host, MeeshWestCo. Have a good one, guys.